Right, that's been an interesting day. What can I say? Well, I had to be a bit tactical today. Normally I wouldn't go out with a mask, but today I thought the best thing to do is wear a mask, because if I do something that the police don't like, they then have a reason to lift me. Whether it's justifiable in a court of law or not, well, that's debatable at this stage. Anyway, reasonable excuse not to wear a mask. Well, it looks like if you've got medical conditions, then that's a reasonable excuse not to wear a mask. Now then, for people who wear glasses, I'll tell you something, doing it in a mask, it's not easy, you know. The oxygen supply, you can tell, it's much lower. And I'll bet a lot of people are going to be fainting in the coming months due to wearing masks. Because even travelling upstairs with a mask on, it can be quite... well, I don't know, it can be quite whatever, because I'm not that intelligent. As some people keep saying to me, you know who you are. Right, so the story goes like this. I went down Sheffield with the mask. In fact, I'm going to take my earpiece out now, because it's good to talk to people when you haven't got the mask on. Now then, what I find interesting today, going tactical, it raised a few alarm bells for the police. Now, there were an incident taking place with a member of the public by somebody who was in a suit. I'm not sure at the time who that person was, but it turned out it were a police officer. So this shop had a police officer inside, obviously plain clothed. Now, all I did was come across a situation where a lady was being escorted back to the shop, and somebody who was with that lady was arguing with the person, taking the person back to the shop. Now, it's none of my business, but I was a bit concerned that there were other people also monitoring the situation. Hang on a minute, just let these horses go by. Quite interesting, isn't it? Right, as the horses go by, yeah, I found it quite interesting how people was concerned about the lady being taken back to the shop. And the partner, I think it might have been, when I think about it, I could be wrong, but I'm going to assume at this stage, was actually trying to say to the gentleman, what you doing? What you doing? Now, I don't know what went on exactly, and it's really none of my business looking back on it, but as a concerned member of the public at the time, I thought it was a bit odd that that gentleman couldn't get any answers from the person who was taking the lady back into the shop. A bit of an incident here. What's going on here?
You tell me. He's saying he's a police officer and he's detaining her, yeah?
He said he's a police officer?
Yeah, but he hasn't seen anything done on camera or anything.
Right,
so he's illegally detaining her.
Right, okay. I don't understand that myself.
You're illegally detaining her. Even you said you don't understand it himself. I don't know who he is.
I'm just a concerned member of public. I'm a concerned member of public.
You dressed like SOS.
Okay. SOS?
So don't put your hands on her.
Are you okay?
Police officer or not, don't put your hands on her.
I've got reasonable grounds.
What was that all about? Why have you let her go then?
Can I take your name?
You just accosted her, fetched her into your shop and let her go.
Yeah, it's Inspector John Mallows.
Who's who, sorry?
Inspector John Mallows.
So you should know your law, yeah?
I do know my rights.
She hasn't seen you do anything or conceal anything. It's not on camera.
So who are you?
What's it to do with him?
He's trying to engage with you. Don't ignore him.
No, who are you?
When you finish speaking
I'm
with
asking
you,
you to identify yourself, who are you?
I'll do that in a minute when you finish talking to him.
I've explained to her why she was detained.
Illegally.
She can explain to you.
Illegally.
She can explain to you why she was detained. No?
Illegally.
No.
Yes, you haven't seen her on camera doing anything wrong.
I don't need to see her on camera.
She hasn't seen her doing anything wrong.
I don't need to see her on camera doing
yes,
anything.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Yes, you do. Look, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
You're just a commentator, social commentator.
Why did you accost her and take her into the shop and then let her go again?
Why you?
I'm just asking for my observations.
You've assaulted her.
A concerned member of the public.
I've had reasonable grounds to detain her.
Okay,
my colleague, who was a member of Scooter
Right,
staff,
did you
has
see
asked to
conceal
stop
anything?
her.
It doesn't matter if just. Right, 1 minute. Can you stop him, please? I think he dropped something.
No, because the alarm's been activated when she's left the store.
You're an
And then the
idiot.
security guard has asked her to stop. So see ya. So who are you?
Am I under arrest?
No, who are you then?
Do I have to tell you?
No, but you're asking me who my identity is, and I'm asking who your identity is. I've already explained what my identity is.
Unless I'm under arrest, I'm not going to give you my details.
Okay, so why are you all rigged up like this?
Like what?
Like this, you've got a body camera there, you've got a radio there,
No,
and
he's
you've got a
allowed
radio
to.
there.
He's allowed to.
Yeah, this is just my protection. This is for my protection. So just for your protection as well. So you can't make allegation against me, and I can't make allegation against you.
Right.
So that's what it's all about. So I'll give you 2 metre distance.
Representing yourself as, you said you were security.
I didn't say I was security. I think that gentleman said I was security. Nothing to do with me.
Identify yourself as security.
The video camera doesn't lie. Okay,
Fine.
you might lie. I don't.
I haven't lied at all.
I just said you
when have
might.
I lied? When have I lied?
So do you want to end the conversation now? You want to carry on?
Well, go on, you have the conversation with me.
What?
You have the conversation with me.
What conversation do you want?
Well, who are you?
I decline to tell you unless I'm under arrest.
I'm really sorry, but you need to move in because this is
Yeah,
the
thank you
way
very much for your time.
Thank you. Bye.
Yes, G.
Okay.
Good. You alright?
Yeah, you okay?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I'm just filming, yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, there's an issue about masks in shops.
Okay, right.
I don't know
cool.
what he's doing in there, but obviously he accosted a lady, didn't he?
Yeah.
I'm filming, by the way. Do you mind?
Yeah, nah, cool, man.
No?
We're
Okay.
good.
Yeah. He was more concerned about me than the alarm going off.
I know, yeah,
That's
yeah.
strange. He's obviously on to his buddies now. Look at him.
Oh, no, look.
How can I help you both?
So we've
Please
had a-
identify yourself because you're not in uniform.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes?
I
Who's
don't know
that?
what that is.
This is an audio recorder.
Okay.
Records everything that you've said and I've said.
Okay.
For my protection and yours.
Okay.
Can you identify yourself, please?
Yeah, police officer.
Yeah, thank you. I understand that. So what's your problem now?
Okay, we're just wondering why you're walking up and down
I'm
the
doing
city
a
centre with
documentary.
body armour.
Strange. I'm doing a documentary on mask wearing in public. When I was walking past, I saw you'd accosted a lady
No,
for your own reasons.
Detain her.
Detained her.
Yeah.
Okay, for your own reasons, which I was a bit concerned about because
Yeah.
someone else was concerned about it.
Yeah.
And because more than one person was concerned about it, I got involved by asking, what's the problem, as a concerned member of the public.
Yeah. Okay.
Just for the record. Is there anything you want to ask me that's not going to reveal my details? Unless you're going to arrest me, then I'll give you my details.
Yeah, I've got great concerns when you're walking up the middle of the Fargate, the way you're dressed.
Well, I'm wearing a mask because that's what the government
It's
says.
not the mask, it's not the mask.
So what's wrong with the way I'm
It's
dressed?
the tack vest or the body armour that you're wearing.
Well, I've got my camera in here.
It's
I've got
the
batteries
all,
in here.
It's the all black
Okay.
clothing.
Okay.
It raises our suspicions and our concerns as police officers in a public environment. Not because we're saying you're doing anything sinister, it's your general appearance that raises an eyebrow for us to then go, actually, what,
Do you
why
mind
are
if I
you
take the
here?
mask off and
Will
out
you
of
take
puff?
your mask off? Yeah, I'm more than happy.
There you go. Yeah.
Just to say,
Yeah.
you know, it raises our concerns as to what your motives might be as to why
Yeah,
you're here.
I
That's
totally
why we
respect
start
that.
talking to you.
So is my explanation good enough, or do you want more?
It is, and I get what you're saying to me. However, it doesn't change the fact that you could be alarming to other members of the public.
Right. Okay, I'll
You
take that on
might
board.
you might be suspicious to other police
Yeah.
officers.
Okay.
We have armed police officers walking around the street, so they might interact with you,
Okay.
which might be something that we don't necessarily need and you don't want.
Understandable.
But that's where we're coming from, and that's why we've approached you, and that's why we've ended up coming and speaking
Great.
to you today.
Can I just, a matter of interest, you're both South Yorkshire Police, aren't you? I've had great dealings with South Yorkshire Police, and yourself even. I can't fault you. I've a little bit of concern about your attitude towards me at the shop, because of the way you were, but, you know, all due respect, you're doing your job, you thought I might have been a whatever. You was concerned, I get that.
So I'm dealing with a situation where I'm being asked by members of the public.
All right.
And you are chelping all the time.
Chelping?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll
that's the
remember
word.
that
That's my interpretation. You are questioning me at the moment, and I'm trying to answer direct questions.
I didn't know you were a
And then
police
I've-
officer.
And I've identified ourselves to a police officer, to the young lady when I've initially detained
Fair
her.
enough.
And I've explained the reasons why she's been detained. That should be sufficient at that stage. Now the security guard has made a reasonable assumption that the alarm's gone off, she's left, the security guard has asked her to come back, and she's either ignored or not heard it, at which point I intervene as a police officer because I've
Okay.
got reasonable grounds to suspect she may have been involved in an act of theft.
Fair
That's all
enough.
it is.
Yeah.
That's all at that stage. But what wasn't happening was I wasn't being allowed to explain that because I had people left,
Okay.
right and centre coming in at all
I take on board what you're saying.
Okay.
Is there any advice you want to give me today? Obviously, dressed like this raises suspicion. Do you want to inform your colleagues that you've spoken to me? Then it's not necessarily another stop and unnecessarily, unless they have reason to believe something otherwise. Do you want to advise me anything?
What obviously you've mentioned
Yeah.
around you're doing an article or you're doing some sort of
Maybe a
correspondence
documentary.
around the
On masks.
face coverings and masks.
Yeah.
Are you local?
Yes.
Are you
Yes.
a Sheffield resident?
I'll give you a little bit, yes.
Yeah, just from an interaction point of view,
Yeah.
just so we can kind of, because that could be a reason that anybody gives us.
Fair
so
enough.
it's about understanding a little bit of
But
more
giving you
about
my name wouldn't actually clarify what I was doing, would it?
No. So yeah, go for it. What?
Okay.
Are you local to Sheffield?
Yes?
Yeah.
A bit more information for you?
Yeah, Sheffield resident.
You're smiling, it's getting
Yeah,
happier.
yeah, no,
And you're
Sheffield-
smiling, that's good.
Sheffield resident. Sheffield resident.
I don't know. Not originally.
Right.
Do
Well,
I have
you
a
can tell-
Lancashire accent,
You do
like
indeed.
Blackburn?
You do indeed.
But
if
I
you-
am South Yorkshire since 2005. He's
So if you
Hey!
so if you were if your motivation is to come to Sheffield and it comes to Sheffield for an hour, then you leave here and you go back to Burnley or you go to Oldham
no,
or you go to
I live in
Manchester.
South Yorkshire now.
So we would raise concerns to say to other police officers, look, we've come into contact with this guy. This
Okay.
is who he is. This is what he's doing.
This is what he claims.
This is what he claims.
Okay.
There's a little bit of check out there, so we know who you are and what you are. And then you can, that information, it kind of clarifies the point. We know where you are and what you're doing. To have you with face masks are an interesting point at the moment.
To be honest, they're
there
very
are-
controversial because even people with glasses that are steaming up at work
Well,
and they can't see what they're doing.
So you-
Somebody could trip over something, health
so
and
you-
safety.
So you're in a tack vest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You're dressed all in black.
Yeah.
You do look fairly tactical.
Fair enough.
You've got a radio on you. You've got a body cam of some description. You've got an unknown item that's concealed and covered in black, which could be anything. It could
Yeah,
be.
fair enough. I get your point.
And
Yeah,
that's
just like
where
that,
it
yeah,
starts to piece together to say,
Fair
you know,
enough.
what's
Your radios as well, which
Yeah.
detonators.
could be anything.
What, sorry?
Could be detonators. You've got-
Detonators? No, I can assure you they're not. But if you want to
No,
search
just
me,
a brief.
is this for me? Are you going to take me away in handcuffs? Okay, he's coming over now. If you want my permission, I'll say yeah. Are you recording, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I have a copy of that recording?
If there's any evidence on there of it, you can go through our legal team. I believe you can request that through our legal team
Right. Okay. Yeah.
and through the relevant processes.
Yeah. I'm just being spoke to by police. Just hang on a second. Right. I'm going to turn this off now.
Okay.
We've got
Right, so
so we'll leave
We've
in
got to
peace, okay?
leg it.
You got to leg it.
Yeah.
Might be a good point.
These fine officers will have a chat with you. They'll run through stuff just like we've done. The reason why you've had this activity is your general appearance and behaviours we spoke, can't we? But which you've accepted anyway. So.
Well, I don't accept anything wrong with what I've done.
No, but what we're saying
Because
is
there
that's
wasn't.
why we've come to talk to you.
All right. Fair enough.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for your smiles.
Thanks. No problems.
Hello.
Great.
So,
Alright.
yeah, it's just conversation. See what's going on. I appreciate you've had some
I've
conversation.
been in the shop basically. I got given a free mask. I've got a mask here that I've been using to go in shops. It's my understanding that you're going to issue fines to people if they go in shops without a mask. Is that correct?
Suggestions, so that's what's been put in by the government, isn't it? But whether that
I've seen the
gets progressed-
legislation, and to be
Yeah.
honest, there's a lot of ambiguity around reasonable grounds not to wear a mask.
Yeah.
So, for instance, some people in the shops have actually told me on camera that when they've got a mask on, they put the glasses on, it steams up. Have you ever experienced that? So
Yeah, no,
that's
I
a
know
health
it
and
does.
health and
There's
safety
plenty of
issue.
people
The
that
government
it
haven't really thought
steams
this
up,
through, as
so-
far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
and they're just using you guys as a political tool. But they wouldn't say that.
But I mean, that's not our decision. Is it? That's
No,
not
it's above your head.
We deal with what we need to deal with, and it's all about engage, explain, rather than prosecuting people. Isn't it? That's
Yeah.
what we're here for. So, obviously, as our colleagues have explained there, obviously it's just with what you're wearing, and as
Is
I'm
there
sure,
any against the law about what I'm wearing? I mean, it's best to clear that up first, isn't it?
I don't believe so. It's just given. Walking around town, whether you get people approaching you thinking you're a police officer
I'll put
and
them
asking
straight.
you a variety of questions, but if you're around town and that clearly doesn't help either. Doesn't help that. You'll get people approaching because you look. I know you haven't got police on there, but people don't always see that. You'll see someone wearing this type of uniform, and they'll go and speak to them, won't they? They see a radio, they see this,
Yeah.
and wonder what that is. So that's the main thing, and it's
Well, do you know what's great about this interaction? Is your colleague recording as well?
I would presume so.
Do you want to just ask it?
But just bear with him.
Because
I would make the assumption
I
that
could
it is.
turn this conversation into a 3-camera action.
Okay.
Because obviously my point of view, your point of view, your perspective, my perspective,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you're speaking, your view kind of thing,
Yeah,
and
I
my
mean, if
replies.
interactions. I'm sure you're probably aware that we record our interactions anyway for our purposes,
Well,
for your purposes.
I'll
and
tell you what, I'll
everything
make a
else,
deal with you if you want to make a deal. I won't request that footage if you leave now.
Okay, well, no, you feel you can request the footage earlier on. I've got no issue with that.
All right, okay.
No issue whatsoever.
Right,
I've
okay.
got nothing to hide on there. It's just recording our conversation, and that's it.
Right.
That's all it is.
Okay, well, we'll end our conversation here then, shall we?
Okay, so what's your plans for the rest of today?
Right. We'll end the conversation, and for the rest of the day, I'll let you have that before I go. I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing. If I break the law, I expect to see you again, because that's what police are for. Breaking the law. People who break
I was
the
just
law.
asking what you were doing because you've not explained.
Oh,
doing what
your
you were-
colleagues, I've
doing what you were
explained
doing.
once, so I'm not going to explain again. So no doubt your colleague explained to you when you were at the car, so I take that to you being informed.
Not what you were doing. No, he just said to come and
I was
speak
video
to you.
recording in a public place.
Right. Okay. Well, there we go then.
Are you recording?
Yes.
I did say that I won't request the footage if you end the conversation now and leave, but obviously if you want to stick around, I'll have to request the footage. It's up to you.
Yeah,
I'll give you an
like I said.
option, I don't want to put you to any more extremes than what you're already dealing with.
Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't make a difference. You can request us footage if you so wish through our legal services. That is not a problem
Okay,
whatsoever.
then. All right. Are you recording, did you say?
Yes.
Oh, great stuff. Can I have your names then?
Yeah, there's my badge number 2504.
And your name?
Humphreys.
And which station do you
Sniggill.
operate from? Sniggill. And yourself?
2476 Wilson. I'm at Sniggill as well.
And I'm
No,
sure
that's
you're-
professionalism and I love it.
Okay. And I'm sure you're aware, should any offences be committed that are recorded on your
course.
device, then again,
I would
we
be
can-
silly
we
to
can
click
certainly
an offence on camera, would I?
certainly
Surely
request
not.
that as well. So, all we're saying is be aware of what you're wearing and be aware if people are approaching you. I know you're saying you're putting them straight, but you just need to be aware of that.
I
don't
do it
you?
in a
Given-
polite manner, obviously.
Yeah.
If someone gets a bit
and that
raising the bar with me, I'll raise it with them.
and that people
Plus 5%.
don't like being recorded always, do they?
No.
They don't like that if they're going
Some
about.
do, and I don't know until I find
Yeah,
out. I've just
but-
been in Sports Direct. They said you can't film in here, so I went up the escalator and come down the steps and come out the other side.
Yeah, because
If I
again,
wanted to stay in there, it's a civil matter. Until it becomes aggravated trespass, let's get it straight.
Yeah.
Trespass, we don't want you around for trespass, do we? I understand you're coming to have a look at it, to assess the situation,
Yeah.
but aggravated trespass is what you can arrest for. You can't, not civil trespass. Am I correct in that?
well, it's a civil matter. It's their premises, isn't
Exactly.
it? So if they ask you to leave and you refuse to do so, and they escort you off the premises, that then causes a scene, causes any
Potentially.
further offences, then we may need to get involved. And
Well,
as you said,
cross every bridge as you
you're
come to
clearly
it.
aware of that, aren't you? You know that. But all we're saying is be aware that if people do come and ask you, be aware of that, because some people don't always take kindly
I've had
to it,
dealings
do
with
they?
South Yorkshire Police before. Can I just ask you, is there a sweepstake going on for my arrest?
Honestly, if I knew who you were, then I'd say so.
Well, I'm not going to give you my name just in case I'm wanted.
Yeah.
Is that reasonable to now apprehend me to get my... Because I've just been silly?
Well, you're just being clearly silly, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm
as
being
you said.
silly, yeah. I mean, we can all be
But
silly.
I don't know who they are, whether I'd be calling by your name, wouldn't I? There's lots of people in town that I do know that I speak to on a daily occurrence, and
You can check
you
your
speak to-
records.
you speak to
You
them
can
by
check your
name.
records. I'll give you something to go off. BANAMAN.
right,
You probably were already aware.
I-
No, okay, fair enough.
honestly not. Honestly,
It's a big
not.
force.
Yeah,
Or not
you
that
know,
important.
We cover an awful lot of areas, an awful lot of incidents, an awful lot of people we speak to for good, bad, whatever reasons. So, you've clearly never seen me before. Presume you've never seen my colleague before.
I might have done, but I'm terrible with
Yeah,
faces.
but I've never spoken to you before. I know that.
All
I
right.
do know that. So, all we're saying is keep yourself safe, stay out of trouble, try not to cause people an issue if they ask you politely, or if they ask you to stop, then just bear that in mind, all right? Because we don't want anything to kind of go wrong, so to speak. That's what we don't want, is it? Yeah. So, any questions for us?
Do I have the right to remain silent?
Well, it's not under a pace compliant interview, is it? We're not interviewing you about anything. We are having a conversation.
So if I chose to remain silent from this point forward, would there be any point of you hanging around?
Oh, we might want to sit in our car for a little bit.
I'll remain silent then.
No, that's fair enough then.
Thank you.
All right.
There's something else just down here.
Right, no problem.
Oh, there's something happening. Do you mind if I tag along? Well, okay, I'll tag along.
Not a lot really, we're just making sure everyone's... ITV, not too sure why they're out.
Might just finish with the first name and everyone name after the shop. That might be why.
Oh yeah.
Could be a good reason. Yeah. So, it shouldn't be nothing to worry about.
Right, I'm not sure what's happening here, so I'm just going to go around the back here. I don't want to deal with anything that's maybe private. It's obviously a police issue, so I'm going to let him get on with it now. What a crazy world we live in.